Hello, welcome to Paxton Road, Nigel's views, and we are going to talk about the hectic week at Spurs. I'm going to say more things on camera that are recorded and put them on the internet so that when I'm wrong, and invariably with Tottenham I will be wrong, they can be remembered. Um, Please remember like and subscribe. And I think there's nowhere else to jump into it but Nuno sacking really. Nuno Espirito Santo fired from Tottenham. And how do I feel about that? To be honest, I feel happy, but not because I particularly hate Nuno. I feel like Nuno's secondary, right? To the bigger problems that we have. I just like knowing that things are hurting the board. Do you know what I mean? As soon as Nuno came in, like I feel like that didn't make sense. So as soon as Nuno came in, I think I speak for a lot of Spurs fans in saying that we knew that this wasn't it for us, right? We knew that this wasn't leading to anything much. So with Nuno, I was already completely numb. Well, I say numb. That is until he played Lo Celso and Ben Davies against against United. Lo Celso and Ben Davies are my new Sissoko and Aurier. I can't see them on the pitch, but I felt completely indifferent to Nuno because they say there's the old fable, right? You can't blame the tiger for eating you, right? That's what I feel like with Nuno. So how could I get mad that Nuno didn't do a good job? It's Nuno. He was at Wolves. What was he gonna do at Tottenham? Really and truly. I mean, I hope I was wrong. But as soon as Nuno came in, I had reserved no judgment for him. I already knew it was Nuno out. So I'm happy that the board has taken acknowledgement that what they were doing was utter nonsense. With regards to Nuno, completely numb to the guy. He had. I mean, I hear a lot of people saying he was a good man and we should be upset for him or whatever. But to be honest, the guy never showed me any personality. I feel like there was no real attempt to win me over. Everything that maybe kind of endeared me to him was behind the scenes. It was he was shopping, or even Alistair Gold may say he's a really nice man. He did this for me, blah 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 blah. But in terms of winning me over, I was never won over by the man. Certainly wasn't won over by the football. Certainly wasn't won over by anything that he implemented. So with Nuno, I'm fine, completely indifferent. Um, yeah, the Man United game, I think, I think Lo Celso and Davis starting over Regulon and Ndombele. I just, I've been able to stomach some of the crap that we've taken at this team, but honestly, that was unacceptable. It wasn't even something I could understand. There wasn't even any, oh, he thought this. I could not understand the thought process. They're having to sit there and watch us get inevitably slapped, something that any human being could have seen coming. Um, yeah, that was a final straw, and I understand how he ends up getting the sack. It was deserved, and this time I like it because I remember last season, right? Me and Darius we were saying fire Jose, fire Jose, fire Jose, right? In the period we were saying fire Jose, Chelsea fired Frank. Chelsea fans said, you know what, he's a legend, he deserves more time. It's not going that badly, blah blah blah. They get a top class manager, they wind up winning the Champions League, right? Us on the other hand, we delay, we delay, we delay. We wait until a few days before a cup final, and we say, right, it's time to go. And it's like you missed the window, right? You missed the window where it was acceptable. We've literally got maybe 4 or 5 games after the season. This one thing is the only thing that's defining our season, and this is the thing you've decided to give us a caretaker manager from. There isn't even anyone available this time, which may be Paratici. Maybe this is the difference now. We're proactive. We say 9 games in, we're not watching this season go down the toilet. I've seen us lose 3-0 enough times to know. I've seen us get 0 shots at target enough times to know that this isn't it. and I like it's a proactive approach, which isn't something that we've always seen. And to be honest, my hope, right? You see, it's a bit weird because I hope, under the assumption that Conte initially didn't take the job because he didn't get what he was promised, I hope now Tottenham have gone crawling to him. That is in my perfect world. Tottenham have said, all right, bro, have it. Just have it. We've tried to rejuvenate. We've tried to give CPR to roadkill. Just have everything you want and like do it. We've tried. It's dead, right? But since Conte released his statement, which, I mean, I can see Levy hunched over right now typing that out. um, just giving it to him word by word, the same way people were accusing him of doing it for Nuno, basically saying because he didn't have to say that. Do you know what I mean? There was no reason for Conte to explain why it didn't work out the first time. It's like he went out of his way to say, initially I said no, kind of thing. It was just like, yeah, but I mean, no one asked, but all right, bro. So we say, did Conte say no? And he's happy to accept the model of Tottenham of 22-year-olds. Is he happy with that, or have we kind of folded over to Conte? I mean, I hope they've said we'll give you a war chest. I do not believe for a second that Conte's come here without assurances that he's going to be competing. I mean, I want to read into that statement where he calls us ambitious, and of course, for no reason whatsoever, he gives kudos to the stadium. I don't even know if Daniel Levy made that. I don't know if he could make that statement any more perfect, but just knowing the history of Conte and the man he is, I don't think he's coming here to essentially get top six. I don't think he goes to a club with that ambition. Knowing that we gave him an 18-month contract, it will be interesting because I think we're at a point now where we should have given him a 25-year contract, right? That's my thinking, because I think if we fire Conte, if we need to fire Conte in 18 months, what the hell does that say about the state of Tottenham Hotspur? If we need to fire Conte in 18 months and it doesn't work out, Jesus, like, where do we go? Where do we go? Which manager commits career suicide? I already think we hoodwinked Conte. I think Paratici's pulled off an absolute miracle, even convincing him to look at us, right? To look at us in the summer was amazing. To look at us after Nuno, aye, hats off. Sleight of hand, I don't know. Shane suggested there was some hypnotism going on, but whatever he's done there, fair play to him, because I think the Tottenham job is as much of a poison chalice as previously we looked at the England job, right? And I think there's other top teams where you call it a poison chalice. I mean, Chelsea's a poison chalice. You know, you go in there, you're going to get fired soon. But at the same time, you go there and you probably win, right? You probably won something. You probably left with something to show for it. At Tottenham, you might get fired 4 days before the cup final. And assuming you got to a cup final, assuming things bounce the right way, we're not a team whose managers have left with a blaze of glory, with something to show for. I mean, Poch managed to get his way up to PSG, but I think after Mourinho came to Spurs, the caliber of teams that he could go to fell. I don't think there were big clubs after Mourinho. I mean, he's got Roma, but they finished 11th in the year in Serie A. I think it wasn't a great season for them. They were on their knees too. It was a marriage of two divorcees. Do you know what I mean? Um, I think what's his name? Nuno. After this, has his stock gone up? Absolutely not. He was interviewing at Everton before he took the job. I don't think Everton's calling him. Do you know what I mean? It's not a team for a manager that you look at and you're like, wow, what a like opportunity. If you're a top manager, right? If you're a bottom tier manager, you may just take it, just like Nuno did. I think Nuno rolled the dice. He thought, I'm getting a chance that I'll never ever get again. If I do this, I may Pochettino myself. Do you know what I mean? I may end up coaching Messi and Neymar, and Mbappe. But I don't think after Nuno, smaller managers are looking at us in that way as much. And also, why would we want to be looking at smaller managers anyway? Why would we be wanting to drop down to Eddie Howe? I think Conte is our last role. If we don't make it work with Conte, we're not attracting top managers. I think already the state of our manager search, going from Gattuso to Fonseca, that's the name. Whatever the guys' names were. I mean, when we got past Conte and Poch, I mean, we weren't exactly pulling out tier one names, were we? It was begging for Graham Potter. I mean, Brendan Rodgers is turning us down. We're already on rocky foundations, and I genuinely thought Jose was our last roll of the dice, right? But getting Conte to come to the club is another lifeline, if you ask me. It's another lifeline, and I think Levy goes before Conte for me. I don't think we can afford for this to fail. We can't. And I think there has to be that realization and that urgency, that this is it. After Conte, we're not pulling top managers again. If this fails, I don't know where we go. I really don't. So, yeah, I genuinely think this is as important a tenure, as important a crossroads for the club as ever. I mean, that is a bold statement, and as I say, when talking about Tottenham, I have during this Nigel's View series, I have become wary of making bold statements, because I mean, the last one that I did, I just said, oh, Tottenham have made a great turnaround, you know, patterns of play, blah 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 blah. Go out 0 shots on target. So what do I know? Maybe Pep quits City and says, I'm going to Tottenham. Who knows? It's football, right? It's football and it's Tottenham, which is the double-edged sword, right? Again, I said last week, I think for the fans, we should expect top 6. I don't think we can expect it as in, if we don't get it, I'll be shocked, right? But I think, again, I'm very glad the board has reacted proactively to Nuno. I believe it's the top 4, maybe I'll say positions 4 to 6, 4, 5, 6, extremely forgiving. We saw that last year. We nearly played ourselves into 4, 5, and 6 during a calamitous season. We weren't a million miles away. I think we're 4 points out in the end. Now, do I believe Tottenham will get top 6? Genuinely, right now, I don't know. But with the state of our squad, right, I think it is a reasonable expectation that I, as a Tottenham fan, have a right to hold. Right. If I look at our results, the fact that we've got 0 shots on target in for such periods of time, right, is our creativity is extremely unconvincing. I think, well, I know that isn't the best for our abilities. That was always my problem with Mourinho. I always looked at the team and I'd say, yeah, it may not be that great, but is that to the best of its ability? And now I think we have a manager who, the team at its best, at the best of its abilities, I believe, should be able to get top 6. and I hope Conte can bring us out to the best of our abilities. And I think obviously the biggest part of that is getting Kane to become a footballer again. And you know what? I've been reluctant to say Kane down tools. I said Tottenham. I'll reiterate, Tottenham isn't a fun team to be stuck playing for, right? It's not a team that if you don't, at the moment particularly, this season, it's not a team where you say, oh, I didn't get my move, I'll just plow on. The environment is toxic. The fans, and I respect Tottenham fans a lot, many times, because I'm such a big advocate of good football, right? That watching us sometimes just drives me insane. And it makes me feel genuine anger just watching how bad we are building from the back. And it's many times I've thought we should just boo this, particularly in the Jose era. I just thought, just boo them. And Spurs fans, you know what? We stick behind the team. I think even at the United game, I heard some singing. I mean, we weren't doing great, and even then, I heard some singing to start the game. The game before that, there's plenty of moments where I've heard the Spurs fans sing, and I've thought, you know what? I wouldn't be singing. A lot of other fan bases wouldn't be singing. So fair play to us. I think the fans. What was I talking about? Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, I genuinely do think the fans give a fair shake. But yeah, with Kane, I've seen a lot of people that I respect saying Kane has down tools, right? And it's not a position that I've been willing to say I hold, because yeah, that's what I was saying. So the fans, they booed for the first time. They booed at United, and it was boos like at half time. There were the scenes, fans leaving, and it was bad. The stadium was vacated, which isn't something that happens a lot with Spurs. And I think the biggest exclamation mark from that game is Harry Kane trying to dink a ball into Bergwijn. And you know what? It kind of justifies my position, right? I feel like we're holding Kane in this light where it's like, dude, you're not trying, right? But if you look at the series of events, and there's been a couple of these, the series of events is, I can't remember who it is, but is it Shaw? I think it was on the left-hand side of United's defence, is in trouble, right? He's getting pressed. He turns around, tries to play a pass back. Kane kind of ghosts, which yeah, as someone who used to play basketball now, that's where I got a lot of interceptions and steals. You kind of read the pass, but you stay out of the line of the person who's passing the ball, right? So they think it's on, and you just pounce on it, and that's exactly what Kane does. And he gets it, and he just takes it down straight into his path, and is driving, and it's like, you know what? Fair play. You've made something happen. You've read the play, and he starts driving, right? He looks into the box. No one does anything, right? Everyone's just making a straight run. Defenders are looking at them. I don't know if Bergwijn expects someone Kane to pass through. No one darts near post. There's just nothing there, right? And it leaves Kane with essentially shooting from a stupid angle or trying the dink that he played, right? Now, Kane in full confidence, we know, like, whether there's a possibility that there's a pass on and he's still trying to bang that in top bins because he hasn't looked, or in full stream, we know Kane's popping shots from anywhere. He just needs a yard. But he tries a dink over to Bergwijn, which it's terrible, but at the same time, what was on? And the fans were really pissed off. But again, to me, that's a striker low on confidence, right? There's been a lot of clumsy moments, even the one against Arsenal where he loses the ball and he chases back the length of the pitch, and of course the ball bobbles off of his knee, straight into the path of Saka, you know. I don't see a lot of these moments as him not trying. The fact that he's not getting into the box, we're saying Kane's not getting to the box for Tottenham. He wasn't getting to the box for England. No one's saying he wasn't trying for England. Do you know what I mean? That's my opinion on it. I mean, as well, at the same time, as I've said, I feel for the guy, because you think you're going to City and you go to this joyless team that doesn't create chances. No one in midfield is creative. You're the most creative team on the team, so it's no shock you're dropping back. He's quite clearly lost a yard of pace. He's out of shape, and I don't think he's doing that on purpose. I think a part of it, he's a human, and this is a joyless club. It's a joyous team to play for. I was in a team where, when I used to play, if I would wake up, I would jump on my left leg, I'd jump on my right leg, I'd see if there's a niggle. I would clear my throat. I'd see how bad's that? Is it cold? Is there sniffles? And if everything passed, I'd put on my kit. Fine, I'll go. That's how I feel it is like playing for Tottenham. I don't think it's a team that you strap on a bandage for and then say, no, I need to stay on. You know, I don't. No one looks at that team, especially as a striker. You're not raring to go to play for this team. I just think, if you told yourself you're going to play with Kevin De Bruyne, it's like, freaking out. Like, why am I here? Which I think is only human. You know, I think that's from my perspective. Having said that, a lot of people that I respect do think he's down tools, which it's very possible. I just think it's a combination of he doesn't want to be here, and again, I don't blame him for that. He's low on sharpness, which, to be fair, I do blame him for that, because I mean, he decided to go to Barbados. So yeah, I'm willing to accept those who say he down tools, because there's a lot of you, and a lot of you that I respect. But I mean, the some of the criticisms, I mean, people saying the exact same thing for England, and no one questioned his effort levels. No one questioned it. Yeah. Kane, Conte, that's going to be key. Son, the criticism of Son being a purple patch player, I almost don't want to touch it, because Son, I don't think I'm capable of speaking objectively on Son. So I love the guy so much, right? He's one. I think his body language, the difference between Son and Kane, right, to me is almost one thing that I've noticed between Ronaldo and Messi. It's that one seems to almost show a great amount of pride in the face of adversity, right? They say, hang on, I'm me, kind of like, I can overcome this. And the other one, you look at them and you want to give them a hug. And that's what I feel. I feel Son is an absolute warrior, right? He sees Tottenham in a tough time, and he's kind of like, I'll sort this, right? That's the body language he gives off at all times. I don't know if Kane has I'll sort this body language. We saw last season he has I'll sort this results, right? But when the results aren't there, you're left with, I don't think this guy's trying. Son, on the other hand, he'll play like poop, right? But you'll never hold it against him. You'll never say, what was Son doing? You'll never say, oh, this guy doesn't care about the club. You'll never say anything like that. You'll never say he's not trying. You can never fault his effort levels, right? But yeah, Conte is gonna need to get Kane and Son firing on all cylinders again. And the reason I bring up Son being a purple patch player is, towards the end of the season, even Jose wasn't getting a lot. A lot of that Kane and Son connection came early in the season. Towards the end, Son dwindled, and I think I want to say the pinnacle, but I mean, whatever the opposite of the pinnacle is of his bad form was in that cup final against City, and he was just so bad, so bad. It almost hurts thinking about it. I can see him sinking to his knees in my head right now. And just if we can get some consistency out of Son, do I think Son and Kane are going to turn a page? I think Son is going to be natural. Like he's gonna have his spells off a lot of goals. Actually, no, that's not even a given because we don't create a lot. But once Conte, we'll see a fit and firing Son, a sharp Son at the very least again. Kane, on the other hand, for the reasons I've stated, some people think Conte is going to come in and he's just going to get into his head and it's like that. But for the reasons I've stated, I just don't think he has it at the moment. I think that's a work in progress. Do we drop him? I don't think Conte does. I think one thing that I've noticed about managers with Kane is they seem to uphold his character, and I think Conte is a man who will respect character. As I say, I don't think Harry Kane's character is that off. I can't be bothered. As Spurs fans, it's a shame because we've always upheld him for his professionalism, right? So the fact that there's questions as to his willingness, but I believe Conte is gonna stick by him because, yeah, I mean, number one, he's Kane, so he already has a lot of good credit in the bank. Not to say he starts out no matter what, but I mean, let's be honest, he's gonna have more in the bank than any other player on the team. So there's that, and also the fact that I do think he probably staying behind practicing free kicks. Well, I mean, he has to be because he's still trying to take them. So he's probably staying behind doing extra training, doing extra sessions, and we probably don't see these things. But I think yeah, I think the manager's going to stick by him, and it's going to be a work in progress. But I think class is permanent. Do you know what I mean? Once the team's sorted itself out, I think he'll get back. I still expect 20 goals this season from the guy. I still expect 20 goals in the Prem from this guy. Fully think he's capable of turning around. Fully think Conte is capable of making us play football again. I fully think he's capable of banishing Lo Celso, banishing Ben Davies, banishing Dele Alli. I've heard a few whispers, people saying, can Conte get the best out of Dele Alli? Leave it. That's all the time I'm giving Dele Alli today. Just no. A few other people that, I mean, he can't banish Dyer and Sanchez yet, but I fully believe that he has plans for them and a plane ticket to Siberia. And I think he's gonna bring that ruthlessness. I hope he does anyway, because as much as we hate to say it, the team that Poch left, which the remaining pieces right now are Sanchez, Dyer, Kane, Son, Winks, and kind of Ndombele, even though I don't class him as a Pochettino baby. He's probably the antithesis of a Pochettino baby. That's the old guard. However, with the new guard, we still hear loads of talks about commitment and following tactics and not doing what the manager asks, and I do think it will take something desperate. I mean, Jose. I just think by the end of Jose, I don't even think he was trying to weed it out. I just think he couldn't be asked. The image of Jose that sticks with me is, I can't remember what game it was, but Sanchez made a horrendous mistake. And I know he was talking about Sanchez because this guy, oh my God. And they asked Mourinho something about tactics or something, and Mourinho says, I couldn't tell you. I have never seen these things at top level. And he looks exasperated. He's just like, you tell me. Like, you tell me. Like, he was mystified. And I just think, I think it needs something completely drastic, which is what I'm hoping that this Conte appointment is. Something drastic, a complete start again. He just turns up and he puts his boots on the table and he says, I'm not having this. And I hope he has the full backing of the board to do something desperate, because as much as I hope Levy leaves, he's not going anywhere, you know. But I also hope Conte's not coming here under anything less than conditions that it takes to upheave this. Because if he's coming in still thinking, remember Jose, I just need some little tweaks, just a tweak. You remember that? Oh my! If he's coming here thinking it's a little spanner work, without the bringing the full toolbox, he's in for a surprise. But I think now, if you paid any attention to the Tottenham job, we're beyond that. So yeah, here's to hopefully a better future, a rejuvenation of a club that feels extremely toxic at the moment, and to brighter pastures. And remember, please like and subscribe. And what do we think? Do we think Kane's downing tools? Are we thinking that 18 months is too short? Are we thinking that we can expect Kane to be gone by next summer? What are we thinking? So just let me know. I'm interested, because I've got my ideas of this 18-month contract, of what we can expect of this Kane and Conte working relationship. But I've also heard people saying Conte's turning up and benching him. So yeah, like, subscribe, comment. I'm here to hear it. I will reply. So Nigel's views. Thank you.